Hello and welcome to another Minecraft Bedrock Edition add-on showcase and tutorial with me, FoxyNoTail, here today to talk to you about mini blocks. But not your normal mini blocks that you might expect from my channel. These are not entities, these are actual blocks, which means you can stand on them and it means they don't cause any lag. It also means, if it disappoints you, that you can't put them on your head and you can't put them on an armor stand's head. But why would you be able to? Because they're blocks, they're not heads. Now, because they're blocks and not entities, the things that we can do with mini blocks are a lot more limited. With the entities, we could move them around with dies and have them all over the place, but with blocks, there's a lot less that you can do to interact with them. However, I've done my best to make these as good as possible, and what I'm sure you'll really like is that you no longer need to chase the wandering trade around hoping that he's got some of these blocks. You just need a Stonecutter. And when you go to your Stonecutter, you put in a block and you take out a couple of mini blocks, and maybe you put in a different block and you take out some more mini blocks and a different block and some more, and so on and so forth. And you can just get mini blocks of pretty much whatever you want, with a couple of exceptions. Even though there are over 300 different types of mini blocks now, there are a couple of things we can't craft. For whatever reason, I cannot make it craft the jack-o'-lantern into the mini jack-o'-lantern, even though there is a mini jack-o'-lantern mini block, which you'll be able to get in creative mode, and obviously things that are not full blocks are also not supported. But pretty much every other full block in the game is available as a mini block, as you can see me scrolling down the list of all of the mini blocks now. So what can we do with these mini blocks? Why are they so good? Well, let me tell you. First of all, you can place them on the ground, or if you really want to, you can place them on the side of a block like this. Or if you really want to, you can place them underneath a block, like this. And if you've got a free hand or a different item from the one that you've just placed, when you click on them, you can spin them round on the spot where they are. However, if you hold the same item as you placed, you can also snap them to the different corners of the face that they're on, so that you can align them however you want to. And you can get little benches like this that I've made here, or even a staircase up to a full block. I've also put some patterns on the wall here and some items around here, so you can kind of get an idea of how that all works. If you're putting them on a vertical surface, they will snap to the vertical surface. If you're putting them underneath a surface, they will snap underneath that. And if they are on the top of a surface, they will snap to the top of a surface. And once you're happy with it, wherever it is, let go of that item or use your free hand, and then it will spin freely on the spot there. So we've got relative freedom with how we're going to be placing these things, which makes them very, very useful. For instance, you can use them to mark what you might have in your barrels, but perhaps you don't want them right in the middle. Perhaps you'd prefer them to be in the corner somewhere, and perhaps you want it facing in a slightly different direction. Well, you can do that now without a problem. And what else isn't a problem is lag. These things are not entities, these things are made of actual blocks, which means there is absolutely no frames per second loss from having them in your game, as I'll now demonstrate. As you can see on the bottom left of my screen, I've got an FPS counter and I'm getting around about 410 frames per second. And basically on my screen, there's absolutely nothing. Now, if I was just to spam a load of XP orbs into the game like this, you can see my frames per second going down quite drastically because they're entities. And entities don't play nicely with Minecraft. So let's pick all of those up and get those away and let our frames per second go back up to 400 and something. Now what I'm going to do is create an entire chunk's worth of these mini blocks like so, and you will see that my frames per second doesn't budge. Even though there are 4,096 of them, I am still getting above 400 frames per second, which is absolutely great. Looking away from them makes absolutely no difference, and looking towards them makes no difference, and it really doesn't matter how they're placed or rotated. It makes absolutely no difference to your frames per second. So that's great news, and what's even better news, the other function of these, which you couldn't do with entities, which you can do with mini blocks, is make them emit light. Now, you can't really see it all that well from here because there's a campfire here lighting everything up. But if I grab myself a mini sea lantern and a mini frog light and maybe a mini shroom light, a mini magma block, and a mini ender chest, you'll see that these are now coded to give off half the amount of light that their full block counterpart would give. So a sea lantern gives off a light block of 8, so does a frog light, and so does a shroom light. The magma block will give off a light level of 1, and the ender chest will give off a light level of about 2. So they're really useful. So when you're lighting up your Christmas tree, let's get rid of that campfire, you can see it's actually lit up and it looks nice at nighttime. And what else looks really nice is that this pack contains absolutely no textures. All of the textures used to make these mini blocks are being culled from the vanilla textures, which means if you add a texture pack to your world or your global resources, like this, I have the plastic texture pack here. I'm going to apply that to my global resources. I'm going to go back into the world I was just playing. And you will see that all of the mini blocks have changed to match the texture pack because they're just using the texture pack textures and nothing's embedded. So you can use these mini blocks with whatever texture pack you want on whatever world you want, on a realm, on a server, and they will always work and look exactly the same, which is amazing. Now, in order to add these to your world, you will need the Holiday Creator Features experimental toggle turned on. These blocks do use experimental features, but these experiments have been around for a pretty long time now, so I wouldn't worry too much that they're going to change and break the blocks. Although now I've said that they probably will. No, I don't think they will. I don't think they will. It's fine. And you can download these now. Just head over to FoxyNoTail.com, go to downloads, and you can either go to search or add-ons and find them there. If you go to search, because they are the latest pack that I've updated, they will be in there. If you go to the add-ons page, they will actually be listed not in alphabetical order as you'd expect, but down by the other mini blocks here. And you can see this is the new version there. Click on that, go to the download button, and then click on the download link. And that's it. All you've got to do then is extract the add-on from the zip file and add it to Minecraft. And you can have these mini blocks in your world as well, completely lag-free. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you've got any problems with the pack at all, join my Discord and let me know. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.